You know, Trish, my dad's favourite chocolate bar would have to be the cherry ripe. So I think he's going to be pretty excited to know that you're going to be doing a beautiful cherry ripe slice.
You are right. I don't think he's alone. And interesting fact, this year is the 90th birthday of cherry ripe.
Wow, it's been around for a long time.
Sure has.
Everyone, I guess, loves those combinations of chocolate, cherries, coconut. Just works every time.
It's a killer combo, that's for sure.
So how do we start this beautiful recipe?
Okay, we need to make the base first. If you could cut me 185 grams of butter, we'll melt that.
We can do that.
And then I will start to measure the dry ingredients.
Okay.
I need a cup of plain flour.
Always measuring accurately, aren't you, Trish, when we're doing our baking?
Yes.
It's like a science.
I'm a bit of a stickler for that because I think if you don't measure accurately, you don't end up with what you set out to achieve in the first place.
And I'll pass that over.
Great. I'll give you the saucepan.
Yes, perfect. In it goes.
Yep, beautiful.
Save that for later.
Okay, so in there also some self-raising flour, and we need to add some coconut, some brown sugar, and also 2 tablespoons of Cadbury Bourneville cocoa.
Beautiful.
Now normally we would sift this, but because it's going into a base, it's just as easy for us to whisk it together. Sometimes you can get a couple of little lumps with your brown sugar and the cocoa. Remember to store the cocoa in an airtight container because it tends to try and absorb moisture. So if it's airtight, that you won't have any of those lumps.
Right, so that's all mixed together nicely.
Okay, and the butter's ready, so I might pour that in.
Yes, being very careful. Don't want to spill that. Okay, we have to swap over from that.
Sure.
Whisk.
I'll finish that off. And if you could start with the filling, we need to combine together condensed milk and also some cherries, some glacé cherries, and once again some more coconut to make that yummy coconutty filling.
This is a sweet tooth's heaven.
It is.
And we don't need to chop up these cherries, or we've chopped them up just slightly in half.
Yeah, chopped a little. Sometimes if they're too big, they kind of drag when you're trying to cut it into nice little slices. So, oh, that smells good. So just press it in, and press it in nice and firm so that it holds together well when you cut.
All right, coconut goes straight in there. Give that a good mix.
I'm done here, so this needs to go into a moderate oven, 180 degrees Celsius, for around 15 to 20 minutes until that base is nice and crisp and cooked through. We can allow it to cool a little, and then we can pop the coconut and cherry mixture on the top and put it back into the same oven, 180 degrees, for around about 20 minutes until it's just lightly golden on the top.
A double baked slice. I mean, is there anything better?
No, you're gonna love it. Looks great, doesn't it? Now we need to finish it off. We need to add the chocolate topping. So we need some dark melts and a little butter, and we're going to put those just over some simmering water. Make sure you've got a nice clean bowl, and make sure that the water's not in contact with the bottom of the bowl either. I actually like to add a little bit of butter to the chocolate when it comes to a topping, because the chocolate's got the propensity to set really hard. Sometimes it makes it hard to actually slice it without the chocolate shattering. So by melting the two of them together, you'll find that when you actually go to cut the slice, the actual topping is just that little bit softer and it doesn't break up and crack all over the place.
Because I want those perfect cherry ripe slices.
Absolutely, of course you do.
So straight over. Look at that. Oh, lusciousness. That looks so good.
It does. Well, it wouldn't be cherry ripe without that beautiful dark chocolate, would it?
That's right.
All right, and then you can just swoosh it over the top. And then we need to just allow this time to set. There's no need to actually refrigerate it, but it will happen.
It will happen, and I will be tasting this.
Yes, you'll definitely be tasting it. There it is, ready to go. You'll notice that when we lined the tin, it sort of came up around the sides. I always think that's a very good insurance policy for making sure that your slice actually comes out of the tin, because I love non-stick, but I just like to make sure.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than having to dig things out.
Not when you get to this point, when it's perfect.
Absolutely. Nice hot knife.
Yeah.
And that's got a crunchy base.
Oh, yum. I like the sides. I always say that, but I really do like the sides.
I've always got somebody to help me with the sides at home too.
And look at that, when we were talking about that chocolate, adding that little bit of butter, it's not snapping. The knife's just melting into that perfectly, so we're getting those perfect squares. All right, I can start putting them on our plate. I thought I'd choose a red plate that was appropriate for the cherries.
Cherry ripe, that's right. Yummy.
And I might try one of these little bits.
Okie doke. Enjoy.
I like all of your dishes, Trish. I'll tell you
Good.
what, my dad, Colin, is going to be very happy that he's got another one to add to his repertoire. He loves cherry ripe. There you go, Dad. That one's for you.